Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. So who raised you? The energy is like my grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. It's this weird competitive matriarchal energy. Like my children are doing better, but it feels very spiritual. All right, let's start with some love, some joy, some celebration, a little OMG, because I'm always grounded in the truth, angels, ancestors, and guides. You know your positions, Father, Holy Spirit. You already know. Yeah, look, see, Five of Wands, Devil. I rebuked this bull and all his minions, but this is like some weird rivalry. Ten of Cups, Sun. It could be like toxic masculines, because it's King of Cups, Queen of Wands, right? There's the King of Wands, right? So, like I said, it feels more like an energy. Like one faction is rearing their children with love, compassion, joy, peace, self-control, gentleness, and the other is teaching them treachery. Seven of Swords energy. And because the feminine is an energy, right? But these are real women who embody this goddess essence, and there are many types of goddesses with a little g that are out there, right? But it's the corruption, right? The Seven of Swords energy, the corruption of their energy and the progeny thereof with the sun. And then look, Knight of Pentacles, Strength, and the Four of Wands, right? Some people, this is, it's so cliche. It's a light and dark battle, but it's very braggadocious. Who raised you? It's, I was getting right. Mm. It's very clear. It's a masculine competitiveness where the pieces of wager are, it's the children, but it's also the courtship. The corruption wants to get people to turn against their very nature, meaning their good nature. Right. See? Because the energy of conception, right, where the spark of life with the tower, Six of Swords, where the soul enters, right? If the conditions is one of grief, loss, and sadness, then the spirit of that child is, in essence, burdened and trapped. Ugh. It's odd, but that's what that feels like. Who raised you? And so, unfortunately, there's so many people, right? There's like a hidden agenda aspect to this with the moon. There's whole communities, whole generations, multiple generations of families who have not had the stability, the investment, the tutelage that they should have because of this Eight of Cups energy. because there are untold things, unknown things that are going on as you're making your way into this realm. Oh, interesting. That's why some people are truly in the Five of Pentacles. It's a very old spiritual wager, is what this feels like. Hierophant, Wheel of Fortune. Yes, like I said, who raised you? Nine of Wands, Star, Emperor, Ace of Wands. So we have the High Priestess and the Queen of Pentacles. So, you see what I mean? That's crazy. Okay. That's why sometimes if you ask your mothers, for those of you who have had absentee fathers, and there really isn't any information, like truly, it's like from the moment like the egg was implanted, like seriously, radio silence, completion. It's targeted. It's specific. It's not just random. I understand that this sort of knowledge can really like blow the mind, but it's so people utilize the act of sex for spiritual workings, and in that course of things, that's why it seems like some get the shitty end of the stick, some cycles continue, there's a repetitious nature to it. The inheritance can be a blessing or a curse, is what this makes me feel. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Oh, look. Learn to see things differently. All right, Holy Spirit. Whew, I know that can't be, it's a cultic practice, as High Priestess Hierophant. Some people have been following traditions and, but they're like unspoken rules. High Priestess Hierophant. Traditions passed on, whether beneficial or not. It continues. It's like naming, right? They could like, oh, family name, and it's passed on over and over again. But when you examine the caliber of the lives of those people who those names are being bestowed to, it may not be what you want for yours, so you might break tradition. This could even be like two brothers, right? Like Cain and Abel, I mean, we can go through like Remus, Romulus. Like, there's a lot of different siblings, twins, if you will, throughout history, where they chose different paths, where they were uh, butted against each other in their own rights. One aspect is to push one of them to their best, and the other to maybe expose a shadowy nature. But looks can be deceiving because you would think the elder would be one way, and then but sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? Like, uh, gosh, Esau and Jacob. I think that's the combination I'm looking for. And the prophecy was that the younger would lead the elder. Don't make me misquote, but it's something like that. And it's because his mama got all slick and wrapped him in skins to make him feel to touch to, like his brother, because his father had gone blind, so he could bestow upon him a blessing before he died. Right. So he got tricked, right? Who raised you? And one gambled his birthright because of what? He was hungry. Right. So these questions and these things, when I just saw the Three of Pentacles to the Eight of Wands. So when you're thinking about working together with people, collaborating, partner, or building with them beyond sex, right? Eight of Wands. Be mindful of that energetic exchange. Get to know not just them, but their family, who raised them, who raised you. We saw the Queen of Swords, and so it makes me feel like you need to be unbiased about yourself in that reflection as well. You don't need to be cruel, but you need to be clear. Six of Cups, some reflection to the Hangman, right? Right there. I'm going to tell you like this. There was a lot of things about somebody, Meme, Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, that you slick didn't know. I feel like if you spend a little time reflecting upon it, you might see some things a little different. And it's funny because if you chose to go a different path and not push through and carry on certain generational curses, I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody's mammy feels some kind of way. They're quite disappointed with this Five Cups right here. That you wouldn't submit. You wouldn't let them, you know, cajole things. You woke up. Makes me feel like the idea of any third party connections. You won't entertain that. I don't know what bond that is. It's making me feel like maybe a Jezebel or incubus, succubus type spirit. Because you might have been, listen, you might have been promised to carry on this low vibrational tradition, whatever that may be in your particular family. You went against the plan. was going to somehow trick you into something. Hold on, we'll get to that. Knight of Cups, Ten of Swords, Eight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, Two of Cups. I feel like there was someone who was, we'll just say, posing as a type of soulmate, right? Because the Knight of Cups, they're looking for love, right? But I feel like it was a setup. It kept, almost like to make you believe this was your one, that this person was there to invest in you, that this was like going to be successful, but something in you rejected it, rejected this person, rejected this narrative. You definitely saw something deeper, something fundamentally wrong about maybe how that person was raised, like fundamental differences. I feel like you saw that somebody was putting on a show and that someone was in need of deep, deep, deep healing. Wow. Okay. I feel like this person was handpicked. Look, Justice, Ace of Swords. When I tell you it was the right thing to do, you clear as a bell. Some of you are absolutely crystal clear. The path you chose was the correct path. Okay, hold on. So what was the plot? What was the plan? What was the tea about it? I feel like to trick you out of some sort of opportunity. Opportunity for what? True love. See? I don't know why your family needed you heartbroken, living in the same pattern of toxic love. And that makes me feel like for material gain, maybe even being the other woman or the other man, however that plays out for you. That's wow. You said I want true love. I want who God wants for me. And you knew it wasn't whoever that person was that was sent in with that Knight of Cups energy. Wow. So you chose to stay single and independent. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. And close out cycles, regardless of how big of a struggle and or burden it might be at times for anyone to be independent and self-sufficient. But you know what you know. Queen of Swords to the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, you're not delusional. And you're not thirsty. Seven of Cups, Four of Wands. You're not like wound up about, love and this and that. You've got plenty of choices, plenty of options, but you're grounded and you're stable. No more repeating the same cycles. Look, and now look, Queen of Cups. You poured into you, right? Focus on yourself. loving and caring and being emotionally stable. After many attempts, it feels like, to take that from you, to cause you pain and grief and suffering and disappointment and delays. And you're still right where you're supposed to be. You're still going to get your King of Cups, the Queen of Cups, Ten of Cups. You're still going to get your happily ever after. You're still going to get your kingdom spouse. Lovers. You already know it. You get dreams and premonitions about it. Yes, you do. Moon to the Four of Swords. Yes, you do. Tower. Let's just say some of these people who might have raised you, if they still around, they might unexpectedly go to the upper room. You might even feel this coming with the Chariot, Nine of Swords. I know some other people feel it coming. Yeah. They can't even block it out, y'all. This is meant to happen. Justice, Ace of Swords. Just know that. It is truly meant to happen. Alright, let's see another round of who raised you. That's wild. It's like you can do okay, right? But they want you codependent with the Page of Cups, excuse me. They want you around in the state of like suspended animation. Right. How dare you block them out? That's to the people who raised you. For those of you who are not on terms with them. Strength to the Four of Cups. I feel like, boy, good job. Because it took a lot of courage to put boundaries up with those people you care about. Because I don't think it's a lack of care. I think it's just self-preservation, peace of mind, stability. Right. Just all the Six of Swords. Like, I like my peace. Who raised you? It makes me think somebody value money over everything. Ten of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Okay. Five of Pentacles. See? I already knew that. This is this is greed. And it's sad because I feel like money run through somebody's hands. Not to mention, I feel like when you were young, they were told that you were going to be very well off. And they might have been told that they was going to leave this world in the Five of Pentacles. Somebody could have felt some kind of way about that. It's something about you being due the stability, this Ten of Pentacles. There was a certain threshold that you needed to get to prior to you receiving or getting to this tier or whatever this is. But this is past life inheritances restored. I feel like from that point forward, look, Four of Wands to the Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, there's some weird jealousy and envy and vindictive competitiveness in there. You can, child. Wow. Wow. It's crazy because I really do feel like someone really didn't feel like the energy could have been there for the two of cups, like equal cooperation, give and take. But there's so many blessings that are like in your destiny, if you will. Like you got attacked for no reason. I mean that, like for no reason, out of jealousy. This person has tried to ruin any type of happiness, joy, and peace, all because of a secret that they keep about something they know about you. That you were naive to. They always wanted to keep you in a position where they had the upper hand, but I'm getting mistreatment. As far as this person is concerned, you should have been out of here. Three of Swords. It's crazy because again, it feels like your mama, somebody mammy has truly, truly, truly been out here trying to get them, truly trying to get them, and somebody, it could be your father, is defending you energetically, watching over you from behind the veil. Seven of Cups. Yeah. Wow. Straight up. If spirits could cry, I feel like that masculine would cry. That's the energy. I'm really getting this person's greed turned them into some sort of devilish energy. Eight of Cups, right? The pursuit of that ninth cup. I want what I want, right? To the devil. So this person might have even went and petitioned, like conjured, tried to work with some spirit, some entity because they wanted this Ten of Pentacles. They wanted that good life. With the Empress over here, they wanted to be the Grand Dame. And I mean, you have survived through a lot of different types of attacks. Confirmation, double confirmation. I mean that, like a lot. A lot of health. If you ever want to know why, I told you the Five of Wands, people jealous because of what was in your will, what's in your destiny. But you keep sailing on the calmer waters, like no matter what they do, because you're a light worker, and your mother has been using all sorts of demonic dark work against their own child, heavily invested. Dominion, domination, ruin, sabotage, suspension, freezers, you name it. But a lot of illnesses that have been attempted to level you. Tax on your finances, your relationships. I mean, there ain't a challenge you haven't had to overcome thanks to the bitterness of your own mother. Because this selfish energy. Told you that Eight of Cups leads right to the Nine. This person turned their back on everything and everyone that they have ever cared about to get their ultimate wish fulfillment, but it's not in its high vibration. This person like binded themselves to different groups and institutions and organizations trying to get this power. Ace of Wands, Emperor. And you can sit in High Priestess Hermit energy. God, you psychic as fuck. And the Hermit is the healer because healing heals the healer. The Hermit carries a star, and so that light burnishes any of the demonic attacks sent their way. That shit's crazy. It's all the Ace of Swords. Like, you are very strong in your balance, in your energies. Your anointing is beyond evident. Beyond evident. There's no denying the protection because of the sheer volume and consistency of the sabotage and the backstabbing and the betraying. Like, Eight of Cups to the Hangman, like they went to this devil to sacrifice. They didn't give a shit what they had to give up by any means necessary. Even if that's your very own destiny, your very own light. They said they were willing to pay the price. Six of Pentacles. They didn't care. They wanted it. Did not care. And diligent. Tried it on more than one occasion, by the way. Wow. Sick in the head energy. Okay. So that's who raised somebody. A demoness is what it sounds like, y'all. No offense. Every full moon. I mean, doing moon rituals. Moon to the Night of Wands. And I feel like you just be dodging shit. Justice. To the Hierophant. Woo! That's interesting. People, I feel like people want some answers. Hold on. Yeah, man. People not falling for the gaslighting. This makes me feel like this is the government, and they about to take a bunch of shit. And I mean that people are waking up. They are tired. They are not about to repeat the same cycle. No siree. No, no, no. Like what's going on right now with this Five of Pentacles, right? They not playing about this. They've had enough. Knight of Wands is charging right at these we'll just say agencies, governmental levels, like they they about to seriously just ask some real basic But seriously, spiritual questions. Who do you work for? You work for us, right, son? Eight of Pentacles. It's for real. You work for us, not the other way around. They about to remind them of who really has power and authority, and that whatever this bullshit, trickery, MK Ultra mind job that they're trying to do to keep people locked in the same bullshit loop open over it, they have awoken to it. They're not falling for this Five of Swords energy, and they not playing. Strength to the Five of Swords, that's the people. They said, we can show you, son, Knight of Wands, better than we could tell you. That time for talking, I don't think it's too much talking, y'all. People upset. They looking right at the people at the top. The Supreme Court and Capitol Hill. Justice in the Hierophant. They listen, they done had long enough. Four of Swords, Tower. People are upset. They have lost their shit. Floods and all. See the river down there? Now the water is receding, and they can assess the damage and the, oh my God, man. Three of Pentacles, they tired of being fucking lied to. But y'all getting together and huddling up to sell them wolf fucking tickets. Y'all got some answering to do, Queen of Swords. They not, they about to leave no stone unturned. And this is the governmental branches. I'm not even joking, because these threes is popping. Three of Cups, y'all working together, huh? Okay. Nine of Wands. People upset, and they looking at the Emperor. Wow. That could be Capitol Hill, like the Senate, Congress, all of that. The House. They looking, oh. Wow. They looking at the Supreme Court, the president, and the people on the Hill. They looking at Congress. They upset, and you got every right to be upset. Ace of fucking Swords. They said, no. You gonna make us whole, Six of Pentacles. You gonna make it right. You gonna make it right. They looking. They see who you partner with. They see exactly who you partner with. Lovers, Gemini. They know exactly. And whatever the fuck y'all offering, it ain't enough. It is not enough. Four of Cups. Bullshit. The people calling bullshit. Judgment. Mass awakening. King of Swords. Whole communities. Whole fucking communities, right? Coming together to come for y'all asses. Wow. Y'all asses. Y'all put your decisions, your greed, your toxicity, your amoral behavior is the reason why these people are in this fucking position, and they know it. How dare you cut those life-saving programs? They coming for y'all. They coming. Wow. I'm not fucking around. Knight of Swords. Yeah, I don't know where y'all finna to go, but I don't think too far. They gonna I feel like they about to make January 6th. Look, as I say that, look, Six of Wands. it's gonna look like small potatoes. That was just the beginning. Ace of Pentacles. Look, you wanted it, you got it. Two of Wands, Three of Wands. You wanted it, you got it. We tried to be nice. King of Cups, Queen of Cups. We tried. This is what the people are saying. We tried. Because they are trying to raise their children. Oh, they coming. Oh, they coming for the Gemini. And they coming for the justices. Yes, they are. Yeah. Children, because the children, they like, fuck your money. They about to apply some serious pressure. Look, Six of Cups. Page of Wands. They homes, they children. Look, Knight of Cups. Page of Pentacles. They done lost people. They have had enough. Seven of Wands. They have had enough. You have caused them pain. You have caused them tragedy to their loved ones. Wow. They not playing, y'all. Oh my God. That shit coming fast. Eight of Wands. Shit. Shit. Oh, whoa. They, they coming. Y'all done stir the energy in these people. I know the goddess energy that I keep feeling, ruminating around and shit. Like, cause the images that they're having me create with the AI shit is cool, but I know what they're invoking. I know what that is. I don't need to say what's already understood. That shit, my God, this energy. Queen of Wands, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, Death. King of Wands, Chariot. This is a united front. This energy is not what you think it is, but there's a lot of open conduits. There's a lot of people in pain. A lot of heartache, a lot of tears being shed. That's awakening the earth. That's awakening certain energies. They're rising. That was a shitty sacrifice. And you know it. And they know it. And they know it was all a show. People ain't stupid no more. They really gonna hold y'all asses accountable. That could be governors. It don't matter. They really about to hold people responsible. Shit, you won't be able to stop this. You won't be able to suppress it. They come, like I said, you won't be able to suppress it. And then the Hierophant with the moon, for real, for real, for real. Oh, okay. There's gonna be some form of investigation that's gonna like blow the lid off of this shit, and they gonna figure it out that they could have did something different and they chose not to, and people really gonna be fucking mad. Y'all gonna make me act a fool up in. Oh, they gonna try to cover up. It's a lot of missing folk, y'all. And the dumbass got on TV talking about, yeah, we did some cloud seeding, but it was minimum. It wouldn't have been impactful for the totals. And all I could think about was a couple years back where the fucking desert and the Middle East flooded. They had like torrents of water because they thought it would be cool. The cloud seed the desert in an environment that don't get rain, and walls of water came down. Just gross loss of life. Like, man, they tripping. They be lying. Why you always lying? Who raised you? Someone really does not want world peace. Can I just say that? That is so funny how that looks. They don't want a free flow. They don't want equal give and take. They don't want equality. They don't want cooler heads to prevail. See? They want to end any sort of restful rejuvenation that people are, any healing. Again, they want this place out of whack. The Six of Pentacles just came out in the same angle as the Seven of Wands. They don't want people freely giving and receiving with each other. They're heavily invested in them being happy, in them having control. Seven of Pentacles, King of Wands, Three of Cups. Yeah, see? And I don't care what they gotta do to maintain it, even if that means handing over a couple of they means the youngins to do it. Sicko. Right. They don't really care about happiness and community and celebration and harmony, and especially not divine love. Definitely not. Definitely not. Like they don't want the promise fulfilled. That rainbow is always going to be a reminder of the promises that were made between God's people, the covenant, if you will, right? They don't want to see this changing of the guard. That's why I said they don't care if they got to give up their people to maintain power and control. Yeah, who raised you? All those children can't mystic, right? Not to mention can't mystic, Christian can't. Like, there's so many things wrong with all of that information. Let me just tell you, my spiritual mind, every red flag that I had went off. Like, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? And who's all associated with this place? And whose daughters were sent there? And who's the lead? Whoa! And how? Please, please. They, as far as they get, so they can have more. They can just have more. They're chattel. Like they don't really care the way real people care about their children. They don't really care. They put them on a pyre to maintain the balance in their favor, their investment, their control. They will. They will. Listen, hangman, devil, eight of swords. They, like I said, two of wands. They will put their asses on the pyre. They don't give a shit who they gotta give up, as long as it ain't them, and as long as they can maintain this upper hand. Told you they don't want this. It's here, so they fighting in vain. They think they slick. You ain't getting away with shit. It's too many people like myself on this planet. It's too many psychics. It's too many mediums, too many clairvoyants, clairaudience, too many Claire Huxtables walking around this bitch who just got all the clairs. You can't shut us all up. Try as you may. You cannot shut us all up. Yeah. Sad part is I feel like handpicked. And the one, it's one in particular they keep showing you. From the information I gather, I think the child is from the Hunt family. Like oil tycoon money, and I do mean tycoon. Mm. He's in like the top 10. They're in the top 10, like wealthiest family because of their oil dealings. Get out my ear. Ooh. Yo, my left ear just started going off. But the whole world is trying to push what electric and this and that. So what does that mean for oil tycoons and shit like that? You know, that means the money dry up. Gotta divest. Da 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 da. It's all about power and control, people. Three of Swords, Two of Cups. They ain't got no problems. To them, they feel like that's just fair. A lot of these people, these leaders of industry, do these sick ass rituals to get ahead, to maintain their success, their wealth. By any means, it's diabolical. Five of Swords, Two of Swords, it is diabolical. The shit that people do to maintain their edge. Ten of Swords. I know what I'm talking about. High Priestess of the Strength card. I know what I'm talking about. And they wives, and they all just as sick. That's why I said what I said. All these women were married to these prestigious men and went to this camp, and it's just such a great tradition. And look, wait till this. Wait, just fucking wait. There is an investigation. I don't care if they watch. They look what you gonna do. What you gonna do? Too much divine protection. it's just weird. Can't miss it, Christian camp. Like, it's just fucking weird. You know, the camps, the Ace of Swords, yeah, they agree, it's weird. Camps that I went to were like appropriate, you know, victory and shit like that. No woo named camps, especially associated with the church. It's like, wait, what? Exactly. Look, it's convoluted. I feel like it's the beginning. Oh, they're making me feel like it's like the beginning, like which school where they teach them like little friendly competitive things, but in terms of the arts. Wow. So it really is like a witch camp. No, really, they send their kids there. So there's no fear of exposure of them learning this shit. Wow. Look, Star, Justice, Queen of Wands. It really is a cover. See the cloak right there? Wow. Maybe we should look into the owner. I know he passed away. I'm sorry. He passed away trying to save the kids. But maybe we should look into the owner. Interesting. I mean, it could have just been deviated too. You know what I mean? Certain people come in and on the front it looks like something, but it's like hush hush. Like they trying to teach them by day, you know, all the kumbaya and Jesus songs, but by night, yeah, definitely look. That keeps telling me to look into the dust. Hermit to the death card. Like they're literally. Hmm. Tower. Wow. It's really making me feel like just looking at this, it makes me feel like a storm changed directions. Somebody might have had a feeling, like a strong knowing, and they might have came in. I wonder if one of, yeah, man, I wonder if one of the parents who's showing up as this Empress energy came and got their kid. That's interesting. But maybe they weren't able. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Too slow. The response was too slow. The alerts were too slow. But it still makes me feel like there was a shift. Yeah, I see that they was doing rituals out there. Yeah, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords, Four Wands. Somebody lied. or is currently lying. Anyway. Was there supposed to be somebody like on lookout? Somebody saw something but didn't say anything. That's wild and wicked. Like, it makes me feel like this Queen of Cups was supposed to be the Knight of Swords at the first sign, because she's looking at the cup of water, right? The cup of any sort of like moisture, water, flooding, anything like that, catastrophe with the tower on top. They were supposed to send some sort of alert, but they didn't. They were too slow. The response is too slow. Knight of Pentacles, that's too slow. Money is not the problem. Money is a lie. Like when they said that they didn't want to spend the money, Texas has one of the strongest economies in the country. Like they really could annex themselves and sustain themselves and all of that. Like they good to go. And so when you know stuff like that, it's like how can you say that y'all ain't want to spend the money or you ain't had the money? It's stupid. And it's a lie. Death to the Three of Swords. That's making me feel intentional. That is not making me feel like it was accidental. They do feel bad that people were hurt, that people perished. Like, there's that for sure. Like, this watery, feminine energy definitely feels some kind of way. Like, they are in a deep, deep depression. This could even be the mother to one of these children that was lost. Yeah, look. King of Swords, Page of Cups. Somebody made a head over heart decision about this. This is crazy. Like I said, for these masculines in this weird spiritual battle, they feel like they could just have another. This is sick. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. Grief or no grief? Wow. They got what they wanted. Nine of Cups, they got what they wanted with this. There's so many different people that have been lost and have been impacted. It's hard to get a straight read about it. Look at all these knights, this communication. Now this is definitely dark magic. Look, Moon, Devil, Magician, Six of Wands. Whatever this ritual was, it was successful. This offering, it was an offering maybe to some sort of water deity. Was this an offering to a water deity? If it is, I don't think it's a well-known one. Or it's just, it says maybe. Two things can be true at the same time, right? Because Wheel of Fortune, and then Two of Cups, Four of Wands, Ace of Swords. It's like someone did this hoping it would shift the energy in their favor if they made this sort of offering, if you will. Like I said, it would shift things in their favor. Hierophant Emperor. And it's huge. Somebody really is trying to maintain their stance at the top of the totem pole. Yeah, this is something or someone or someone's that are not trying to get left behind. Eight of Cups. They are literally fighting what they know is coming. Nine of Swords. Dark work. I don't think it was accepted. Let me just say that. I feel like retribution. Because, if there was a intentional sacrifice made to something above my pay grade, put it that way, was it accepted by it? Nope. Four of Cups. Chariot. Nope. Nah. So I got a maybe. I got a yes. I feel like it's out of balance. Especially if this is something that represents family and community. If this is anything that's close or associated with Mother Nature, or even like a darker aspect of it, I don't know. Double Cancerian energy. Hold on. I know it's the crab, but hold on. Hmm. Never. Like I said, I've never heard a lot of these. What I looked up were goddesses associated with the crab because all of this Cancerian energy that keeps popping up. This could have just been something they were trying to do in the most crudest of senses. Um, in the season thereof, making a water sacrifice, if you will, honoring the water season, but also to darkening it with the full moon in Capricorn. It just feels like a violation, abomination energy, anything to distort the positive, anything perfect. Okay, depicted as beautiful goddesses, she's often seen beside Poseidon on a throne driving a chariot pulled by seahorses, right? The Capricorn is the sea goat, okay? Okay. Adorned with the crab claw ornaments and wielding a trident. Ampher, Amphitrite. I can't say her name correctly. Amph, wait, Amphorit. Okay. Amphorit, right. I'm still not saying it right. I know I'm not. And she has a twin sister, or a sister rather. Thalcia. Thalicia, excuse me. protection, fertility, abundance, and wisdom. And so, on one hand, the masculine aspect of Poseidon was probably like, okay, not so bad. But the feminine, she kind of resembles Aphrodite, apparently. I don't know. Of their united power over water. Yeah, this makes me feel like people trying to maintain very pagan traditions in a modern world. It's weird. It really is. Every so often, I know how this sounds, y'all, but so what? I feel like these people who did all of this, they're still stressed out because they're confused. Things should have gone a different way, right? Let's just say people should be more receptive, more pliable, more open. They're stressed out because what normally is a winning formula, right? For we'll just say one of these ruling peoples, it's not. It seems as though the offering was it caused some sort of chaos. See, the powers, meaning the universal balance, is in alignment. There are more people in flow with understanding of the yin and yang at like philosophy than ever before. It's not about religion, it's about a simple universal truth. You cannot have one without the other. It's an absolute. And since we are vibrating there, even with the glyph of Cancerian energy, separate but equal, if you will, if you look at the glyph. So the rules are changing. That time where things could be done that way and accepted has passed. I'm kind of glad they were ignorant to the fact that they got to honor these goddesses. And when I say they're going to be fucking mad, they're going to be so mad. They not ready because they toxic. Toxic masculinity. I'm not even joking. I mean toxic spiritual masculinity. Six of Cups, Sun. They gonna be like, damn, I miss those days. Sun, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, King of Cups. And see, it's not gonna be quite as easy to get these goddesses up to do the same shit that they was able to get some of the other lower vibrational masculine demons really to do for them. You're gonna have to appease all of them if you're gonna work with them. See the one, and they all behind them. Uh-huh. It's not real. I guess it's not real. I said it. Shit. I gotta hold on to that for a second. Why did we say that? With their attempts, what they're trying to do, because people are celebrating the vibrations lifting. Vibration. Things must be balanced. I feel like they've always Like that's always been the required that things must be balanced. But I feel like people have been trying to askew and to tilt things and like just in their favor. But this is what it is now. Mankind in submission, but finally equally yoked. Because the energy's aligned. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. 10 minutes. Okay. Truth shall set you free. Okay. So it's not really. Is what happened out there? Is it just? You say yes. Nine of Cups is a yes card. It's like, yeah, they partnered up to close out a cycle or like keep a cycle from closing out. Five of Swords. It's mind games. It's manipulation. Even if people get hurt, it's not the truth. Whatever they're selling the world, that's not the truth. But I feel like it will come out. Tower and man. Shit. And I feel like it's not going to take that long because Tower World, like that's imminent energy. There could be a woman, a mother, who's going to make sure that the right thing is done. Yeah, it's the grief. I was getting that. I hope and pray because it sounds like her husband may say something so stupid, so offensive in her state of grief that it spurs her to do the right thing. Yeah. This might have already happened. I'm not even joking. They might have lost a child before and they had another child and she don't want to go through it. Like, oh my God, it's terrible. Anyway, I went out of it. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll do it again soon enough. Love you, love you, love you.